From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for May 25th, 2017. In a moment, I'll be taking a look at the AUDUSD, the Australian dollar versus the US dollar for today's trade analysis. But first I want to recap a couple of the trade suggestions made over the past few days. Here on the NZDUSD, the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar, we've been looking to go short into the resistance zone. We've had a couple of opportunities for that here into the blue zone at the very top of the chart. That's 7,045, 7,060 into that blue zone. Look to the left, the blue circle on the left, and you can see 3 times where it came up into that blue zone and bounced off and eventually turned into a downtrend. So we're working that same resistance zone just like it did back here. We're looking at resistance here into the blue shaded area. We took one attempt. The first attempt went all the way down to the orange zone. We had profit all the way down into the 7,000 level. Second attempt coming back up into 70.45. You can see the trade going down there at the very bottom of the chart. We've seen over 20 pips of profit on the second attempt as well already, so the trade manager has taken me to break even. But looking for this to fall back off of the blue zone, fall back to the orange zone, and eventually, if it can break the orange zone, we look for lower levels to be reached. The risk, of course, is always the same. The risk is it breaks through the resistance level. So right now we're selling the blue zone. We're break even on those sells. The risk is that it turns back around and goes back above the blue zone. So if you're not in the sell and you decide to go short at the blue zone, the risk is just above the blue zone. Your stop loss should be just above it in case it does break through that resistance level. Moving over to the GBPUSD, the suggestion has been to buy the support within the rising channel. Zoom out to the daily time frame. You can see the uptrend, the blue trend line, the rising channel, the 2 parallel black trend lines up here, and we have been at the bottom for the past 3 days or so. Zoom it in a couple of times here on the daily time frame, and there it is. 1, 2, third day now, settling down here into the green shaded area. Trade yesterday went from the green zone all the way up to the purple zone. Trade manager took us to break even. The market came down and took us out at break even. So it was a profitable trade, but it came back down and took us out. So right now we're out of it. If you're still looking for an opportunity here on the pound dollar, I think it's still a viable scenario. Buying the bottom of the channel, the green shaded area, anywhere between 29.50 and 29.20. The risk there is that it breaks down under the green zone, the blue trend line, the channel, and starts going lower. So we'll continue to watch for support here into the green zone, just like, by the way, it did down here at the yellow zone inside this green circle. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 days found support into the yellow zone before making a new high. Similar situation, we're looking for support to continue here at the green shaded area in the direction of the trend for the pound dollar. All right, let's move on over to the AUDUSD. This currency pair has been really in both directions all week long. We've seen buying, we've seen selling. It's just been rattling around really between the orange shaded area and the green zone. The green zone is 74.60, 74.45. The orange zone 74.10, 75.10, 74.95 is the orange shaded areas, and we've been bouncing around. You can see the past 3 days. Well, a couple of things I want to point out here. The orange zone, we've talked about resistance here. Look at the circles all along that orange zone. So we know that there was going to be resistance there, and the past 4 days have proven that. Hasn't been able to break above there. But also the green zone, same period of time finding support. So we've just been rattling around. We need some motivation here for this currency pair to break out of this congestion between the green and the orange shaded area. The next thing I was looking at is the trend lines. The black trend line coming down from the top, and we're above that trend line. The blue trend line coming up from the bottom, and we're above that blue trend line. So at least right now, as it sits above the cross of these 2 trend lines and the intersection of these 2 trend lines and above our green shaded area, I think it's more dominantly looking for a buy scenario. At least, if anything, you would say right now is not a good time to go short because you're on top of this cross of the 2 trend lines, the support. It's not a good time to go short into 74.60. But we may have another intraday opportunity, just like yesterday, to go long here at that cross of those 2 trend lines. The risk is pretty simple. You don't want it to break down under that green zone and under those 2 trend lines. If it does, it's likely going at least back down to the blue shaded area down here into the mid to upper 73. So this is the risk. The risk is a break of the green zone. The potential opportunity is a bounce off of here and another rally towards The orange zone, which again is 74.95 up to 75.10. And of course, if it breaks the orange zone, we could easily look for back to the 100 period moving average and the yellow shaded area into the mid to upper 75s. So at least right now, don't go short. Potential opportunity to go long. Now, if you're looking to go short, there's two reasons to do that: back in the orange zone or under the green zone. So if you're a seller, look for it to rally to the orange zone resistance for better risk reward, or break under the green zone for better expectation that it's going to go down to the blue zone. Take it down to the 4-hour time frame, and again, we can see it rattling around in here for the past couple of days. There's the blue trend line, there's the black trend line, there's the support into the green zone. 236 of our current trend range, the blue trend range. And in fact, let me get right on that high. It wasn't right on the high, but 236 of the blue trend line sits just above the market 74.70. But by the way, 382 of that same blue trend range sitting at 74.45. So again, giving us a clue that we might be looking for support into the 382 fib. And a break of that 382 fib and the green zone, we look for it to go lower. So sitting on top of the green zone, we look for buys back to the orange zone or higher. Break of the green zone, we flip it, look for sells, turning back down towards the blue zone for the Australian dollar today.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.